First with breaking news. First with new information. Plus, your first alert forecast. 19 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
We begin first at 4 with continuing coverage on the hazmat situation in Euclid. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Versansky.
And I'm Brian Duffy. This is an ongoing developing situation. Fire crews on the scene of a possible chemical spill there. Stephen Hernandez is there. And Stephen, I know they just moved you back further away from what's going on there. What can you tell us at this point?
Opportunity to get a lot closer to where everything is. This is on Tungsten Road. You can see where all the activity is right next to one of the buildings out here, the Elma Technologies building. Well, we got closer. We were able to see Beechwood, Mayfield Fire, Euclid Fire, of course, and also the Chagrin Hazmat on scene, including some officers that seem to have very big hazmat suits. We were also, my cameraman and I were also able to smell a type of chemical. No word on what it could possibly be, but shortly after we were there, we were asked to move back where we were earlier this afternoon. Still no word on what this chemical is, for how long they'll be here, but we did see some movement from some of the SUVs. One of them actually pulled into the driveway where all the activity is in reverse. There's also what you can assume to be a lot of employees waiting outside on the grass. It's still a wait and see situation, but you can count on 19 News to provide you the details the moment they become available. Live in Euclid, Stephen Hernandez, 19 News.
All right, and we've got another developing situation here. We're watching for what could be a very, very rough, difficult night ahead, threatening weather conditions throughout the evening into the late night.
Yeah, you can see the clouds moving in, the sky kind of darkening up out there as we speak. Heavy rain, flooding, damaging winds, even a tornado warning. All of that cannot be ruled out. The 19 First Alert weather team has been focused on this storm all week.
Yes, they have. 19 First Alert meteorologist Erica Page now here. Erica with the timeline.
So let's kind of walk through what we're expecting here over the next few hours, because initially you will get some rain moving in. I would say within the next hour or two for some of our western counties. This will become more widespread here west to east as we get into the early part of this evening. But if you're talking about a severe storm threat, that still is on track for later tonight. So we're talking after 10 p.m. for our western counties, and then likely through about 2-3 o'clock in the morning as that line continues to work eastward. Once the line passes, your winds are also then going to kick up, and these will not necessarily all be winds associated with thunderstorm activity. That wind threat will last into tomorrow as we do track a better opportunity of kind of seeing some of this wind energy moving across our area here, all associated with this area of low pressure. We're still waiting on a little bit more of these stronger storms to develop off to our west. The severe risk overall has decreased a little bit for our area. I'm not going to say it's zero, because you can still get some strong winds that develop overnight and kind of overcome the loss of daytime heating. So that is certainly something we will watch to kind of build in this severe threat for those damaging winds possible. But again, we're already going to start to see some of this lighter rain moving in. It's already moving east of the I-75 corridor. So for our western counties, expect that here within the next hour or two. I will walk you through the hour by hour data though concerning the severe risk tonight coming up in just a few minutes.
Erica, thank you. And be sure to have our 19 First Alert weather app downloaded tonight. Just scan this QR code. Once weather hits where you are, you're going to get that first alert and be able to track live radar right to your street. Plus, you'll get push alerts for your exact location.
This is a 19 First Alert breaking traffic alert.
This is a big traffic alert here. In just a week and a half, the East 9th Street ramp into downtown, the one right by Progressive Field, is about to close for months.
But why, and why now? Dan DeRose spoke with ODOT today about the sudden announcement. There's lots of other stuff around this that is going to make this very difficult.
Yeah, this is part of the Interbelt Transformational or Modernization Project. That's why we're already seeing a ton of construction. But the reason for why now, well, ODOT was just told by the contractor that they want to work on that East 9th ramp starting June 29th, a week and a half from now. East 9th ramp coming into downtown, here's Progressive Field right here, will be closed. Now the question as to why. It's again part of this big project. If you were coming into downtown on 90 from the west and you wanted to go to 77 It's this tight curve right there that then takes you 77 south. Part of this plan is to build a new bridge for anybody trying to go 90 to 77 south. So as they build that bridge, they have to build these what are called piers, sort of like the pylons that new bridge is going to sit on. And in order to do that, they have to tear out the East 9th Street ramp. That's why. And unfortunately, it's going to stay closed until October. I did ask ODOT. This is kind of like that phrase, if you're going to make an omelet, you got to break an egg, and they're going to start breaking eggs in a week and a half. I'm assuming this was unavoidable.
Yeah, so part of this project, one of the major parts of it is to replace that 90 west to 77 south ramp and make that flow a lot better for traffic going west to south. And unfortunately, we have to move this East 9th ramp so those bridge piers can be placed where the existing ramp was at. So we're looking forward to getting this work done in approximately 120 days, and then the ramp will be open again.
Just 120 days, that's nothing compared to, all the traffic that comes in for commuters and people trying to get to Progressive Field and anything really downtown. Ontario is going to be the option. This ramp right here will stay open, but there's 11,000 cars that use this ramp every single day. Now 11,000 cars are going to want to use the Ontario ramp. Don't worry, all of this construction, all these big parts, it's all set to be finished in 2032. And no, I'm not exaggerating. 2032 is the completion date for the entire project.
1,095 days today marks 3 years since Keyshawn Williams disappeared from a Cleveland neighborhood.
Investigators believe someone may have abducted the teen. You're watching new video that we have of Keyshawn, and they, along with Keyshawn's family, they are not giving up on finding him. Senior investigator Sarah Goldenberg brings us the latest in this case
and shares a new look at Keyshawn through family videos.
Singing in the car, playing with his brother and sister. Joking around with his family. Keyshawn Williams was 15 years old, carefree, just being a kid, until that summer day 3 years ago when he vanished. As each day passes, the missed moments and milestones with his grandmothers, Alona Miles and Mary Kay Williams, add up.
His voice, his presence, his smile, laughter, goofiness, and it's always calling all day long. Nonstop.
Everything is just like gone, like unbelievable. But his spirit is still alive and well, so I just hang on to that.
They still hold out hope they'll get answers.
Whatever happened to Keyshawn, who's all involved, whatever the case may be, we standing on that. The truth gonna come out.
People are talking. You can't really hold that in forever. Somebody letting that cat out the bag, so it won't be long.
June 17th, 2023, Keyshawn was supposedly kicked out of a party on Fleet Avenue in Cleveland's Slavic Village. Witnesses later told police they spotted him in a vehicle, tied up and beaten, setting off an Amber Alert. From scouring entire neighborhoods to fields and abandoned houses, investigators with Cleveland Police and the U.S. Marshals Service haven't stopped looking for the missing teen.
You never want to see it go, a week, let alone 3 years. So being at this point in this milestone, it's tough.
Deputy U.S. Marshal Vinnie Piccoli isn't giving up on finding Keyshawn.
It's something, for me personally, I think about daily, that I work toward resolving daily.
The case remains active. Leads and tips are still coming in.
Do you have any suspects in this case at this time?
Not at the moment. We're still working toward that. We have a strong team of dedicated investigators between Cleveland PD, us, the FBI. We all have the same goal, same common goal, and to resolve this case, and I am confident that we will.
As time keeps passing, cases like this become more challenging, but Piccoli says they're on the right track.
You do it for the family, you do it, they're hurting, they want answers. We want answers. Everybody, you know, wants to be on the same page with that.
In the meantime, Keyshawn's laughter, humor, and joy play on in these family videos.
Everybody say tacos! Tacos!
And reminders of Keyshawn are everywhere, like on Mary's charm bracelet.
It says Keyshawn and then it says infinity.
The waiting weighs heavily on his grandmother's.
Still want answers. What's going on? It's stressful.
I feel hopeful. I feel that things are moving in the right direction.
They're asking you, if you know something, to speak up.
Pray for us.
Yeah.
Pray for us. That's the biggest thing.
Keyshawn turned 18 this past December. U.S. Marshals and Cleveland police are making a big push to solve this case, but they need your help. Do you know something that could bring his family answers? Sarah Goldenberg, 19 News.
There is a $27,500 cash reward for information leading to Keyshawn. You can call Cleveland Police with any information at the number here on your screen, 216-623-5400, or contact the Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force at 1-866-4-WANTED. You can also submit a tip online at usmarshals.gov. Tipsters can remain anonymous, and you can hear more from the investigators working Keyshawn's case in our true crime podcast, Dark Side of the Land. You can look for the Finding Keyshawn episodes wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, we continue to follow breaking news right now. Euclid Fire confirms they're on scene with hazmat on Tungsten. This is at Tungsten in Chardon Road, where there could be some kind of chemical spill. To kind of give you an idea of where this is at, it's right on the Euclid and Cleveland border here. This is just south of I-90 in the area of East 185th Street there. This is a highly industrialized area. And as we look at the map here, it's very close to the Nottingham Water Treatment Plant. That's a City of Cleveland water treatment plant. So they'll be keeping a close eye on that, and that's probably why this is getting so much attention, because it is very close to a water treatment plant.
We're working to get our live pictures back up, but we've seen hazmat on the scene. We actually saw some people kind of gear up in their hazmat suits to be able to go inside this building. Workers, a lot of workers evacuated from that area. You could see them standing outside this building. Our Stephen Hernandez is out there right now working on getting us some new information. As soon as we have that, we will bring that to you live here on 19 News.
It's okay. I promise.
5 dogs starving, no food, no water.
Just a backyard full of trash. First at 4, Brittany Weir with a heartbreaking new body camera video showing the disturbing conditions one man allegedly forced his animals to live in.
This body camera video from Massillon Police shows 2 dogs left on their own on Alden Avenue. The video shows the dogs surrounded by trash and filth with no food and no water and no one looking after them.
So there's a ton of dogs up here at this house. There's some outside, there's some in the house. I can see they're everywhere in here.
Massillon officers arrested their owner, Corey Swartzentruber, the day before on unrelated trespassing charges. For 24 hours, no one looked after his 5 dogs. Body camera video shows 2 officers trying to make sense of the chaos.
We're at Corey's house, the one we just arrested. He has like 8 dogs here, and there's 2 running loose, and they're all over the place.
Neighbors tried to help. They called 911, and they also worked to corner the dogs with treats.
So if you can get them in the yard, we can call the dog warden to come pick them up from you because they'd be contained.
The video shows the conditions in the backyard even worse, covered in trash, debris, and scrap metal. The dogs severely malnourished, their ribs visibly protruding, and according to witness statements, the animals were ripping open garbage bags just to find food.
I don't know how they haven't deemed this house inhabitable.
Neighbors told officers it was much worse. Body camera video captures an officer describing what a horrified neighbor witnessed firsthand.
He takes his shirt off, rips it, ties it around its neck, and just starts dragging it.
Officers did execute a search warrant and seized all 5 of those dogs. They were brought to the Stark County Humane Society. Schwarzenschruber was charged with 5 counts of animal cruelty. He pled not guilty. His pretrial hearing is set for June 30th. Reporting, Brittany Weir, 19 News.
Also in your top stories at 4, a big closure. ODOT is preparing to close the East 9th Street ramp into downtown Cleveland. You're watching a video of it right here. On Monday, June 29th, this eastbound exit off the Interbelt to East 9th is going to close. This is not going to reopen until late October. Crews need to work on a new ramp and a new bridge support pier. ODOT is suggesting you get off on Ontario and then take a right on Carnegie to East 9th Street.
It's going to be busy. All right, the man accused of killing a man and hurting a teen in a shooting at Euclid Beach Park pleaded guilty. Christopher Manning will be sentenced for murder a week from tomorrow. Shooting happened last July after the Lakeshore Boulevard Park was closed to the public. Jarvis Perryman was killed. The teen survived. Police say Manning pulled the gun after an argument at the concession stand and pavilion.
Sentencing today for the Gilgo Beach serial killer. He got life in prison without parole. Rex Heuermann strangled 8 women, then dumped their bodies across Long Island, New York. Police finally were able to track him down through DNA evidence. The 62-year-old confessed to the murders that took place between 1993 and 2010.
A Swiss mountain resort will host the signing ceremony for the U.S. and Iran, their agreement, on Friday. The Swiss Department of Foreign Affairs says it had been in close contact with the United States, Iran, Pakistan, and Qatar before agreeing on the location. Around 2,000 soldiers will secure the signing site, and a no-fly zone over the resort will be imposed starting tomorrow. Okay, Stephen, thank you. Breaking at this hour, a hearing today for the man accused of killing United Healthcare Chief Executive Brian Thompson in 2024. The defense for Luigi Mangione now plans to use a psychiatric defense. Attorneys will argue Mangione experienced an extreme emotional disturbance when the killing happened. The judge ordered the defense to turn over evidence to support their argument and expert names to prosecutors.
Also breaking, a train off the tracks in Monmouth, Illinois. It's not known if the train was moving at the time or if severe weather in the area is to blame. You can see many of the cars just toppled over on their sides. The locomotive is also reportedly off the track. We have not heard of any injuries.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
Well, we are bracing for a stormy night ahead. You can see the system that's moving into our area from the west. Heavy rain, damaging winds, flooding, even a tornado warning can't be ruled out.
And even after that rain moves out of the area, it will stay windy into Thursday. That could cause all kinds of problems. 19 First Alert meteorologist Erica Page here for us, kind of breaking this all down for us.
Back in the latest 19 First Alert weather days.
Yeah, and this is going to be tonight into tomorrow. A couple of different reasons. We've got that storm threat that we mentioned later tonight, and then eventually we just turn to a bigger wind event for us as we go through the day tomorrow. We're going to focus a little bit more on that coming up here in just a little bit. You'll notice, though, Doppler radar starting to get a little bit more green as that rain continues to filter in from the west. And this is going to be a pretty steady, widespread rain. We've seen the cloud cover expanding across our area over the last couple of hours. But in terms of thunderstorm activity, our atmosphere is what we call a little too stable, meaning your temperature's a little bit too cool. We don't have enough energy to really get those more robust thunderstorms developed, at least where this bigger shield of rain continues to sit across Indiana. However, you go a little farther to the west where those clouds and the activity is broken up a bit more, and that's where you can potentially see a few more of these stronger storms developing. It's also where temperatures, especially out towards St. Louis, sitting into the 90s. When when you have temperatures kind of sitting in that low to mid 60, even mid and upper 60 degree range, sometimes it's a little bit harder to get that storm energy to really develop those storms a little bit better. So we're going to watch that. But I mean, temperatures even for us right now, marginal. We're sitting kind of low to mid 70s across the area. Probably feels fantastic if you've spent some time outside here over the last couple of hours. So as we get into this evening, initially just rain. Once you get closer to, I would say, about 10 p.m. tonight for our western counties, you may start to see a few more of those storms mixing in, and that will continue to be something that we watch during the overnight. More on that coming up in a bit.
Well, a local church will be watching tonight's forecast closely. The storm Sunday already blew a hole right in their building. Now they're bracing for round 2. 19 News reporter Keith Grant has the story.
Only 6 were staying for dinner.
Robin Pratt cracking a joke about what's left of the Last Supper windows. He's the pianist at First Congregational United Church of Christ in Sandusky. 2 of the 4 front windows blown out in Sunday's storm. Glass scattered across the floor, cracked on top of tables, and an open hole in the wall.
You see this big, immense hole in the wall where the windows used to be.
Paul Rhodes owns a business 2 doors down. He was inside when the storm hit.
We heard this loud, crash, like a boom. I thought maybe it was lightning. You turn and look and you're like, whoa, there's the entire window to the church inside the building.
The church took some of the worst damage in the city. It's been in this building for 6 years, and the storm's timing could have been much worse.
Had this happened hours sooner, it could have been a very different situation.
The congregation had just closed up an hour and a half before the storm rolled in. Now Reverend Liesl Higgins is keeping an eye on the forecast.
I am a little concerned about the 2 that are still standing.
With more storms possible Wednesday and Thursday, Rhodes runs a rage room 2 doors down and has set up an online fundraiser and donating $5 per activity toward repairs.
This is not something that they prepare you for in seminary.
The church has filed an insurance claim, but still waiting on a quote from the glass company.